Welcome back, Smart Rvers, to another Fast Tip Friday with Eric Stark, the host of the Smart Rver Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Atwood and Dometic Water Heaters. So basically we're going to visit how to install the new Dometic if you have to replace the Atwood water heater. Now the new Dometic comes in most of the new RVs on the market today. It's replaced the legendary Atwood water heater that has been on the market for decades. So the bottom line is this Atwood water heater is gone. You can't find one anywhere. Unless you can find a used one someplace, or somebody happens to have a new one sitting on a shelf somewhere, like I happen to have this one, but it's not for sale. So if you can't find a used one or a new one someplace, you're going to have to upgrade to the Dometic water heater. But that's not really a big deal. This water heater is actually improved, although we're not doing a sales pitch today about the Dometic water heater. It's improved. It's about 20% more efficient than the old Atwood and the competition, which would be Suburban. So Dometic improved the quality and the performance for the new water heater, and it works in the same basic way as the Atwood, just better. So there's a couple features that are still the same or similar, like the Atwoods don't come with an anode rod, and the Dometic one doesn't come with one either. You don't need the anode rod in these particular water heaters. Now the Atwood water heater came with a 1/2-inch drain plug. The new Dometic has a 1/2-inch cap. So there's a little difference there, and that's not a big deal, but I just thought I'd throw that out there because it might catch you off guard if you're used to that 1/2-inch drain plug needing to be replaced on an Atwood water heater. You go to the Dometic, you want to get some drain caps right away, so you have those because they do break. That's the way it works on these water heaters. So let's talk about the 6-gallon water heaters for a minute. As you can see, the Atwood water heater is different. It's wider than the Dometic water heater. It's about 4 inches wider. And you can see the height is just about the same. They're both about 12.5 inches tall. So the difference in the width is the real problem. So it's wider on each side, so it creates a gap. So that is where the big deal comes in, where it's so confusing on what to do with this. Well, Dometic has solved that problem. They have a conversion kit. So it comes with 2 brackets that go on each side of the water heater. They're called filler brackets or filler plates. So they fill in the gaps on the side here. Pretty simple. And what that does is it's going to eventually give it the appearance of an Atwood water heater because you fill in those gaps and then you put on the new door that comes in the conversion kit, and it looks just like an Atwood water heater at that point. So this is an actual Atwood door here, Atwood Dometic. They're almost identical. So that makes it a real sweet installation. You can't go wrong with that. So the RV is still going to have a nice appearance if you're concerned about that. And then you certainly don't have to worry about modifying that Atwood door or making one from scratch to work with the new Dometic. You just have to get the conversion kit. So it's pretty easy to do. So now let's take a look at the back of each of the water heaters and compare the differences there. So that's the Atwood, and here's the Dometic. So what you're going to see is the water lines on the Atwood are over here on the side, and here in the Dometic, they're side to side, so they're in a different spot. So that's not really a big deal. You can go to any RV store that sells parts and accessories and get the water lines or additional fittings to make the water lines work. So that's pretty simple. It might not even have to be done depending on how your RV water heater was put in, what kind of lines they do, so how they configured it basically. So your wiring is going to be very similar. There's only one difference. If you have an Atwood 110 gallon, the wires on it would get hardwired into the RV. Where on the Dometic, it has a plug like this. So you can just put in an outlet in a junction box in the compartment where the water heater is and just plug this in. That's what the manufacturers of new RVs are doing. Now, if you absolutely can't put in the box, you can always cut the cord off or cut the end off and hardwire it in. But I would recommend putting an outlet in if possible. It would just make it easier. Then for down the road, a little less wiring if you have to take it out for some reason. So that's basically it. That's what you need to know about converting from an Atwood to a Dometic water heater. And like I said, these are new and improved. This is a much better way to go. I wouldn't fight keeping an Atwood too hard unless you really, really don't want to upgrade, or budgetary constraints, whatever it might be. And the way Dometic did this is kind of frustrating, because they just dropped this Atwood water heater off the face of the earth. Then they came out with a new one, and it was a little clumsy at the beginning. Doors weren't available, the water heaters weren't available. You couldn't get one or the other, but they worked out all the kinks and everything. And I actually have given this the Smart Rver seal of approval, because they improved it so much. This water heater actually is a pretty awesome water heater. So that's it. And then the 10-gallon water heaters, if you have a 10-gallon Atwood, no problem putting in a 10-gallon Dometic. Piece of cake. You just take the old one out and put the new one in. The 6 gallons are the only ones that have the conversion kit and those little things you need to worry about. Other than that, it's a great way to go. If it's in the budget, upgrade to the Dometic. Don't even think about the Atwood. They're discontinued. Let them die. So thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe.